Looky what I got here. What is this, you're wondering? This is actually something that the Terrainaholic sent me. He had this project for some time now, and as you can see, I'm going through and kind of putting it together now. But this is a Titan for 40K. I can't remember exactly which type of Titan it is, though I am leaning towards a Warlord, just from the sheer size of it, because if you look at like the size of these legs, this is where the knee is, so I'm thinking Warlord with the sheer size of the legs. But I'm going to actually be working on this as just sort of a personal project over the next couple months. I may or may not sell it, I do not know, but it's kind of neat. So you've got, like, this is a little area for the head. If you've seen our live shows we did in the past, then you'll know what I'm talking about. I'm not going to move all this, though, because I've been doing some repairs where some of the stuff, the monkeys at the USPS kind of kicked it around pretty hard. See, here's the box. It didn't exactly survive very well, unfortunately. That's unfortunately what happens sometimes with things you ship. But I'm repairing things, just gluing it. But it's mostly just little breaks, not hard repairs, like just areas where some of the fragile spots chipped off. Like you can see where that snapped off, and it's easy to fix. Now I'm using for this. Where did I put it? It is the Woodland Scenics tack glue, which I had just a second ago, and I don't know where I put it. But I'm using that for this particular project because hot glue works well. It'll get it done. But when you want something to make sure it is solid and will not break again, especially where some of these breaks are at pretty crucial points, like right there, for instance. Like that one's going to end up going right there, as you can see. And then this will attach to. Where will it attach? Oh, it attaches right there. One thing I am planning on doing is I'm going to expand the feet. Right now as they stand, and like I said, this was not something that Bill finished. This was a work in progress that he worked on and off again. I think it was like the last 4 or 5 years, and just never finished it. So he said, you know, he'd send it to me and let me have a crack at finishing it up. I'm pretty impressed with everything, how it's constructed, and it just needs some detail work, in my opinion, for assembly. One thing I want to do, like I was just saying, is I want to expand the feet. So I'm going to probably give it like the Warhound Titan style toes. Kind of go for a bit of a mix. I'm not entirely certain what a lot of these pieces are, or where they go particularly, but we will be experimenting with it once I get all the finished repairs done to it. I'll probably be talking with Bill to see what the original head design, or not head design, but body design was going to be. I'm thinking that these are the legs, like the lower abdomen part, or possibly even, no, actually that's the upper torso. That's where the head goes. I can tell that's where the head goes. It's about the same size. So now these, I'm not actually sure where these go. As you can see, this is sort of like a puzzle for me, and it's kind of fun. Actually, now that I think about it, looking at this little doohickey has some. I don't know if you. There we go. So it's got some rip points, and I call them rip points, is where something disconnects from a model. So the question is, these rip points. Where do these rip points connect? That is the mystery, is trying to figure out what connects to what. Now I know all of these are part of this gun manifold. That just came apart. And that's the reason I'm using the tack glue, is the tack glue takes forever to dry. It takes like an hour to dry. So I've got things that are drying over here, and I'm sure I'll have to go back and, you know, touch up some areas with some more tack glue and some adhesive. But once it dries, it is so solid. I mean, I've the first terrain set that I ever did, I made the mistake of building a 8-foot board with all sorts of tiny little towers. Looked awesome. Unfortunately, when it came to storage, those towers broke off all the time because they would just snap off right at where the flat wall part was, because they'd stick up. but then every time I would go back and re-glue them back on with the tack glue, they wouldn't budge after that. It would be very difficult for them to break. So if you ever have problems with like foam creations like this breaking or snapping off, or you're worried about it, just use tack glue. It takes a lot longer, but it'll make it a lot more durable in the long run. So this is I just wanted to kind of show you guys this. I've been tinkering with it for the last little bit since I unpacked the boxes and started looking through it all, and just kind of taking a look at how much work I'm going to have ahead of me. So I do have okay, I have some questions I want you guys to answer. The first question: loyalist or traitor? Which one should this be? Should this be Chaos or should this be Imperium? Admittedly, I'm leaning Chaos, but I'm not against doing Imperium just because it looks really cool. Chaos could end up looking cool too. And the second question is, what kind of paint scheme? That's the really big thing. I wanna get input on this, because I don't really play Space Marines of any flavor. I mean, I'm planning on eventually playing Chaos if I ever get around to it, but I would not be against making this Imperium of some sort. I know I've been talking with Aaron over at Titan Painting about a 30K army one day, maybe, I don't know, but this could be a 30K-esque, like a lost technology that isn't used in 40K, because the design, as you can see, like Bill was talking about, he went for more of like a Greek-style helmet right here. And I'm not entirely certain what I'm going to do with that, but I do like the Greek-style helmet thing he's got going on. And I love that he left this open so I can play around and build all sorts of cool stuff. Oh, that's the other thing. And I'm all over the place tonight with this. You know, this video is going to be a little long. I'm going to upload this actually as a separate own video. It's not going to be included in a regular update. I'm going to do lots of plastic art on this. Like, the foam structure is really good base. But what I want to do is I want to go in, and when I say a lot, I mean it's going to be a lot of intricate work. Let's say this, for instance. You see how this is really cool? This looks really neat. I want to plate it all, like one individual plate on each one. Up, 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 up. And then rivets on those plates. It's going to be a huge amount of man-hours to get this thing done the way I want it. But where this is not a client project, really, this is just a for fun project for the most part. I'm just gonna have fun with it, and I'm gonna take it, you know, old saying that me and my brother used to have is balls to the wall on this one. So we're gonna go balls to the wall on this. We're gonna do all sorts of cool things to it, and then we're gonna paint it up. And yeah, just stay tuned, and I'm not sure how fast this will happen. This is a back burner project. This is one of those, I might work on it in between projects, or I might work on it when I might have a day off, or when we get caught up at some point. So the updates on this are not going to be stable. It might be one every month, maybe one every 2 or 3 months. This might take me the better part of a year or so to get around to finishing. Anyway, stay tuned, and I'll definitely do more updates once I get at least a design idea for it.